Hey, this is Randy from Funeral Funds of America. In this video, we're going to talk about Lincoln Heritage, their Funeral Advantage Plan, and we'll talk about the good and the bad, and we'll also talk about how this policy can possibly cost you tens of thousands of dollars more than some of their competitors. And why would you overpay on insurance? Why would you do that if you didn't have to? That's very interesting, isn't it? But a lot of people do. So evidently, they say over 1 million families trust us, and you can too. Get that peace of mind with the Funeral Advantage, the leading final expense insurance program in the nation. What's leading? I don't know. Let's talk about some of the features they tout here. Easy qualification, no medical exams. Now, pretty much all the final expense insurance companies out there have no medical exams. They don't require you to go in. Just like they say here, a few no exams necessary. Just answer a few simple questions. It's a one-page app, probably a pretty tight app, but you know, all plans that offer first aid coverage are going to have health questions. Now they say most everyone qualifies, even if they've had past health issues. Well, what is most? Let's jump over and look at our website. And you can see this. We've got an article on our website. You can read everything that we're going to talk about here. So most plans, but also look at these. You know, there's a number of things that are not going to qualify for first aid coverage. So just be aware of that. This will push you into their modified plan, and their modified plan has a 3-year waiting period. Ouch, ouch, ouch. Don't really recommend the modified program. Fast claims payment. Oh, you got to watch the wording on this. So Lincoln Heritage sends the money to your beneficiary as quickly as possible. Oh, so only as quick as possible. Most claims are paid within 24 hours of a claim approval. So when companies start saying as quick as possible, and most claims are paid, then you can pretty much ignore what follows after it within 24 hours of a claim approval. What this does not mean is that if you die on Monday, you're going to get a check mailed out on Tuesday. No. Notice what they say here. And this is the same with all insurance companies, but they are touting this as a real big feature within 24 hours of a claim approval. So they actually have to approve the claim before they're going to send the check out. And think about it. Once they approve the claim, yeah, just send the check out. You know, it's approved. But up to that point, they can have a lot of questions, and it can take weeks or I would imagine months in some cases. So just be aware of that. It says here, price shopping, family support services. Every Funeral Advantage plan comes with a dedicated representative from the Funeral Consumer Guardian Society, FCGC, at no additional cost. Oh, we're going to talk about this. No additional cost within their company, within Lincoln Heritage, but there is an additional cost that I will show you an example where it's going to cost you over $4,000 more. There is an additional cost. So they price shop funeral services, review contracts, help surviving family members, save hundreds, even thousands of dollars on funeral costs, even though it can cost you more than $4,000 more. So they'll save you thousands, even though it's costing you $4,000. We'll talk about that. Up to 1,000, 100,000. You can add up to 100,000 accidental death. You can do that with other insurance companies. Not even sure of the pricing. So let's take a look here. What you get with Funeral Advantage: fast cash to cover final expenses. What you get with other families can pay funeral bills and wait for reimbursement. Well, we already talked about the vague language up here, pay as quickly as possible, and most claims. So that seems a little bit curious that they would be saying that. Approved claims paid in 24 hours. That's pretty much any insurance company. I mean, once you've gotten to the final approval process, they're saying send the check at that point anyway. This says benefits check can take weeks or months to reach your family. Now, one thing to consider here is if you die in the first 2 years of the policy, most insurance companies are going to do a review just to make sure that you didn't misrepresent anything on the health application. And that takes time to do that, to get doctor's records and stuff. And Lincoln Heritage is no different. So approved claims pay in 24 hours. That is pretty much every insurance company or very close to it, but benefits checks can take weeks or months to reach your family. Expert price guidance, professional funeral cost advice, and price savings. No guidance and savings. Are you saying that at Funeral Funds of America, there's no guidance or savings? I will show you $4,000 savings here in just a minute. Emotional support, caring, and experienced help for your loved ones. And really, no other companies offer any kind of support? That's very strange since everybody's, all these companies are in the final expense, and we're talking about dying families and really having a tender touch with folks going through a difficult time. To say no support offered, that's pretty interesting. Simplified coverage, just one-page application. Oh, confusing insurance applications from everybody else. I can show you company after company after company that's got a one-page application as far as health questions. It's very straightforward. So, easy qualifications, no medical exam, just a few simple health questions. Medical exams, tests, background checks. Holy cow. We don't even work with a single company at Funeral Funds that runs a background check. That's not for final expense anyway. Tests, none of them do tests. It's all over the phone. You just answer a few simple questions, and our companies, they actually get you answers the very same day. So that's kind of affordable monthly rates, perfect for families on a fixed income. Low intro rates such as $1 for the first month, and then quickly increase. I will agree with that there. Globe Life Insurance, AARP, there's a number of different New York Life, True Stage, number of different companies that offer term life insurance where they will get you in for a low rate. Globe specifically has that $1 for the first month. They're the only one that I know. But the other ones will get you in there, and they'll raise your rates every 5 years and typically cancel your policy after age 80. So I will agree with them on that one. So let's take a look at another page on their website. Let's go program details. What is Funeral Advantage? So pays up to $20,000. Yeah, we'll cover some of that stuff here. Let's go down a little bit. We've covered all that. So life insurance cash benefits. So Funeral Advantage are underwritten by Lincoln Heritage. That means they're their own company. They are a captive company. Nothing wrong with that. Typically, captive companies have higher pricing, though. One of the nation's largest. Cash benefits are paid within 24 hours. Remember, once a claim is approved, do not ever believe anybody when they say, hey, you're going to get paid within 24 hours of a death. Never believe that. Whole life benefits up to $20,000. That's a little low. A lot of different insurance companies are going to offer insurance benefits up to $25,000, even $30,000, even $40,000 with some companies. So it is a little bit low at $20,000. No exam necessary to apply. Just a few questions. We already talked about that. That's every company. One-page application. That's most every company out there too. Most people get coverage even with health issues. This is dependent. This is really dependent on your health and when things happened, especially with significant things that have happened in the last 2 years, such as heart attacks, strokes, and different things like that. Rate and benefit are locked in for life as long as the premiums are paid. That goes for every other insurance company out there. $100,000 additional benefit for accidental death is available. You're going to pay more for that. And as we get older, accidental death becomes less and less critical because we're probably going to die from a health or medical cause of death. So let's look at family support services. When a policyholder passes away, we want to make sure things go smoothly on your behalf. Funeral Consumer Guardian Society immediately goes into action to help surviving loved ones in charge of funeral arrangements cope with the many details that may arise. So let's take a look here. When you enroll for Funeral Fund Advantage, you can also decide the style of funeral you want. A 2-page final wishes form makes it fast and simple. Okay, so that's okay. Let's see. FCGS keeps your wishes safe and secure on file. Sure. And your loved ones get a 24-hour toll-free, and they immediately go into action. Comparing, hold on, watch these words, comparing up to. Doesn't mean they will compare up to 3. So compare up to 2. Up to 3. which might mean 2 funeral homes to find the best price available. Now, you got to do the math and see if this is worth it, because they say families on average save $1,850 on traditional funerals and up to $1,100 in cremation. So let's do the math really quickly. I'm going to give you kind of a behind the scenes look at something. And I'm just going to take a simple quote that's probably fairly standard. And this is the same price quoter that we use internally. It's going to show you all the different insurance companies, and it's going to show you that, it's going to show you some high rates here for Lincoln Heritage. So we're looking at a $15,000 policy for a female age 70. That is probably a pretty typical scenario. So we're going to click get a quote here. And it's going to show us the lowest price company. So just to let you know, Trinity Life Insurance Company is a company we work with. So level coverage means first day coverage, $76.76. Now, whether you think that's a good price or not, I don't know, but we're comparing the lowest price to Lincoln Heritage. So let's go down and look at all these different insurance companies. Transamerica, Mutual of Omaha, Foresters, we're going to keep going. Aetna, Lumico, Liberty Bank, Royal Neighbors, CVS, AIG, American Amicable, Great Western. We got to keep going. The price keeps going up. We haven't run into Lincoln Heritage yet. It's going to come at some point, and it's going to be more expensive. Here we go. Security National, Transamerica, CVS. Oh, there we go. Lincoln Heritage. $113.68. Remember, the lowest price was $76.76. So I'm going to go over to calculator here, and I'm going to enter this in. So 113.68, 113.68 minus 76.76, 76.76 equals, so that's $36.92 a month. So you might look at that and go, well, it's not that much more. And after all, they're going to call a couple places and like take care of a couple things for me. It's only $36.92 a month. Okay. Now, how many months are there in a year? There's 12. So we're going to take times 12. And that's going to give us our annual cost. Now that's $443.04 more. And you might look at that and go, well, it's only $400, and they will make some phone calls and maybe do a couple things, and they'll actually keep it on file. That's pretty cool. They'll keep it on file. We don't need to keep it with our insurance policy, right? Isn't that what you would normally do? You would, if you had something like that, you would just keep it with your insurance policy so you don't lose stuff, right? So don't complicate it. But now let's do this. I want to go back here again. We had we're getting there. Okay. Our 70-year-old female. Okay. Do you think our 70-year-old female would probably want to live to age 80? Probably. So let's go back here and let's say that our gal had this policy 10 years. So we're going to go times 10 years. If you would have gotten the $76.76 policy instead of the $113.68 Lincoln Heritage plan, you would have saved $4,430.04. Now let's go back here because I want you to see Lincoln Heritage. And they're saying families can save an average of $1,850 on traditional funerals. And yet, if you had this policy 10 years, this policy is going to cost you $4,430 and change. Or you could have just got the lesser cost policy at $76.76, saved the $4,400. So a lot of people would say, well, they're making 2 or 3 calls and maybe doing a couple other things. It kind of seems like a little expensive for maybe an hour's worth of work, possibly 2, but $4,430. Dang, that's a pretty good payday for Lincoln Heritage. That's why we don't recommend it. It's just, It's tremendously expensive. And what we do at Funeral Funds of America is we actually provide a free funeral and estate planning guide, and we provide that free. And you just fill it out. Who gets what goes where, what you want done at the end, what your final arrangements will be, all of that stuff. Because think about it, in 10 years, maybe the funeral home you want is no longer in business, or maybe you've moved or you've traveled or you're out of state or something, and none of that applies. So we just provide this funeral and estate planning guide, and whenever changes occur, you can just modify it. And then all you do is you keep that plan with your insurance policy. Lincoln Heritage makes it sound so fancy, like they save it in a file. Yeah, but they do save it. And they charge you $4,400 more, roughly, over 10 years. Whereas what we can do is just provide you with a document that you keep with your insurance policy, and you're going to know where that insurance policy is anyway. And the wonderful part is when you pass away, if your family doesn't know where your insurance info is, the company or anything, now you've got your funeral and estate planning guide with the policy, instead of having to call up a company and wondering, you might have the policy, but you don't know there's all these extras with it. And again, extras that cost $4,000 more. And I don't think that this is an atypical example here. $15,000 for a female age 70 is pretty standard. But to, that $3,692 over, 10 years adds $4,000. And that is just so expensive. And when they're saying you only save an average of, $1,850, doesn't make it sound too good, does it? So, yeah, just be very careful and watch for really vague language, and, watch that pricing, because, boy, it gets really expensive. We're going to jump over to my website here at funeralfunds.com, and look at these things here that if you have any of these issues going on, you're not going to get first aid coverage. You're going to get a modified plan, which has a 3-year waiting period. Now, 3-year waiting periods are about the most terrible plan on the face of the earth, because you can get 2-year waiting periods no matter what's going on with your health. So why would you ever accept a 3-year waiting period plan? And these plans tend to be wickedly expensive. Why not just get a 2-year, take one of those year waiting periods out of there? Now, when you take a look at it here, there's a few more conditions where you wouldn't qualify for plan, would make you absolutely ineligible. If you're in prison, well, that's pretty normal. Terminal illness, that's pretty normal with all the insurance companies. HIV/AIDS, that's normal with all the companies. Bedridden, in a care facility receiving hospice care, that's standard. That's all insurance companies. So you can't beat up on Lincoln Heritage for that. A little bit further down, we talk about the claim being paid in 24 hours. And we've already talked about the fallacy of that. It does not say your claim will be paid in 24 hours. It says once your claim is approved. So as we say here, be very cautious when agents tell you your beneficiary will receive a check within 24 hours of your death. Just remember, the next time you are sitting down on the couch and you see that Lincoln Heritage Funeral Advantage commercial, and it sounds so good, and everything they're talking about sounds so good, I want you to remember how in some cases it's going to cost you thousands of dollars more for services that most families can easily get by without if they just have a funeral and estate planning guide, which we provide free. And we'll put that in the comment section of this video, and you can download that for free and save like $4,000, $4,430.40 in this case. So just remember to, the program will pay loved ones up to $20,000 cash. Let me ask you this. Just another word here. Do you think they mail out $20,000 in cash? No, it's going to come in a check. It'd be really neat if it was cash. I doubt, though. So let's take a look. Is there anything on? Most people qualify. That is true for most insurance companies, and more affordable than you think. Let's go back to the calculator. Is that more affordable than you think? Let's jump back to our quoter here. 76.76 versus 113.68. Is that more affordable than you think? And join the over 1 million Americans who've chosen Lincoln Heritage. Can you imagine how much money they make over some different insurance companies by charging more? So let's see. Yeah, there's nothing really else. So, bottom line is, I'm not saying Lincoln Heritage is a bad company. But if you just look at the facts about what they do and what they claim and just how their policy actually works and the benefits, it's just super expensive compared to other insurance companies. And if you think about it this way, rather than pay $4,430 more for a policy over 10 years, how cool would that be to have that money in your pocket and spend that money on your family and, create some memories with them by spending the money on them rather than giving that money to an insurance company? We think that money's better off in your hands versus the insurance company's hands because you worked hard for that money. And just be very wary, of a company that says they will save you on average up to $1,850, where after 10 years, the policy is going to cost $4,430 more than a competitor. So anyway, just be a smart shopper and be a smart consumer, and you can become a smarter consumer by heading over to Funeral Funds of America and just searching our article. We've got the latest update, and we update these things as we get more information and as we get information that's as accurate as we can possibly get. So take a look. We got a great article here. And also, if you want to get access to a quoter like we have right here, go to our website. On just about every page, we've got these quoters. You just put the state that you live in, the coverage amount, and then put your birthday, and you'll be able to pull up a quoter and see all the different insurance companies that are available for you and the rates. And if you don't understand the underwriting or anything like that, that's what our agents are for. We will help you get the best pricing and make sure that you're not overpaying by over $4,000. So we look forward to helping you out with this. Until that day comes, you take care, you stay safe, you have a nice day. Bye-bye.